I've been having a bit of a dilemma. There is so much to harvest right now, and my head keeps telling me I need to go and get more pendulous sedge. But it's quite a task. It takes quite a long time to gather the amount that I have got already. I've got over a potato. I've probably got about 1.5 potato sackfuls, which is probably going to be enough for the next wild biome project. But a part of me is like, I need to get more. And then we've also got so many blackberries that are ripe right now. So I'm just in a bit of a forager's dilemma of what I want to actually harvest and what I want to prioritise. So in the end, I gave into collecting blackberries instead. Whenever I have some kind of foraging indecision, I usually go with the easiest, simplest method, simplest option, and that was just to come straight down the field and start picking some more blackberries. At least I'm still being productive in my indecisiveness. I don't know if anyone else has had those problems if you've been foraging or anything really. You just have a moment of indecisiveness and you don't know what to do. Almost incapacitates you for a while. But I'm collecting some blackberries. I mean, you can't go too wrong with this. I'm going to be making a lot of pemmican next year, and you could also use this for other things during the wild biome diet. And yeah, there's so much more coming into season right now. There's your hawthorn berries are starting to ripen. There's a lot of those on the trees, so my focus just keeps shifting. It's like when you're on your own, you don't have the community to kind of back you and delegate the tasks and the resources, which is something that we noticed on last year's Wild Biome project. Was when we had the groups, we had a much bigger diversity of different things that we all gathered and added to our plates. So when you're on your own, it's just a case of trying to prioritise, trying to make sure that you have the essentials. And during last Wild Biome project, my essentials were, one of them was pemmican, and that is a Native American recipe where you have dried fruit, you have dried meat, and you have tallow, all mixed together, and that stuff preserves for a very long time. I've still got some in the back of the van from the last Wild Biome project, and it is still good. So that is one of my priorities. And last Wild Biome project, I didn't have enough dried fruits. I ended up having to buy in some wild dried fruits. I had to buy in some wild blackberries, and it was very expensive trying to buy in the things that I didn't prepare for the year before. So it's I'm trying to make sure that I cover that, and I've had over 20 litres of blackberries so far. Some are frozen, some are dried, and I'm going to collect probably a few more. And I mean after this week I think I might slow down on the blackberries, because it will be time for other things that I'll need to gather. There's loads of water mint just down here. Like, look at this. Beautiful water mint, and so I might try and gather some of that, so I've got some kind of tea ingredients over winter. Like, there's just so much, and there's only so much one person can do. So this is where the whole community side of foraging and living would have come in really handy at this season. I just stung myself. Maybe tomorrow I might feel like going to get some pendulous sedge. You've also got loads of nettle seeds here. Like, look at this amount of nettle seeds. There's nettles everywhere, and I've collected probably about a bag full of nettle seeds. There's just so much abundance, so much free food. The other thing that I kind of battled with when I was deciding on what I wanted to gather was this whole demand for creating material for social media. And part of me today was like, I should get up, I should go and pick some pendulous sedge seed, I should get this video because this would be amazing footage and that's kind of what went through my head. Even though I have a metal bin full of pendulous sedge seed, about a sack and a half of pendulous sedge, and so I have got enough to last me next year. It would be nice to have a little bit more so I have some to trade for other things, but I also have a freezer full of about 35 kilos of venison tallow as well, because I've been processing that. Can you hear all of the crickets? I think we've missed most of the good ones along that bush. But there's blackberries all the way up that far edge by the railway line, so I'm going to have a look at those, see if there's any more to gather. Well, the sloes are also ripening. Look at the sheer size of some of these ones. They are enormous. But eating these ones straight as they are, they can be quite tart on your lips if you try to eat them. What's really nice is after the first frost, if there's still some on the trees, they do soften up a little bit and become a bit juicier. But these are an amazing size. So if I was into gin making, which I don't really drink that much alcohol, these would be a fantastic crop. Unfortunately, I think we've missed the bumper crop that was on this little stretch here. So we're going to head back down in towards the field and see if there's anything left on the other side. Gosh, look at the size of some of these. They're absolutely enormous, but perhaps slightly out of reach. But wow, amazing blackberries. Amazing, but then there's loads more coming down here. So we have almost another 3 litres of blackberries. So that's not a bad haul. I'm going to go and dehydrate those and add those to my supply for my dry stores for next wild biome, and over winter. I can use a little bit over winter. But I suppose what I wanted to finish up with was that when it comes to indecision, whether it's foraging or anything really, just find the easiest, simplest thing on your list and just go ahead and do it. And at the end of the day, after you finish that, at least you've still been somewhat productive. I mean, I've been very productive. I've got 3 litres of blackberries that I'm very happy about. And yeah, I'll see what happens if I go and get some more pendulous sedge seed. There's just so much going on now. Next week I plan to go down to the south coast and try and get some more mushrooms. And then I'll be coming up past Hangout UK and spending some time at a gathering with with hand pans that you've seen on my previous videos. So I'm going to go there, and then I'm working at Nomadic and then coming back home. So it's going to be busy. I guess that's why I've been a bit indecisive, because pendulous sedge isn't a simple task. It's going out, spending a day in the woods and really trying to gather as much as you can in a good maybe 4 hours or 5 hours spent out in the woods. And yeah, we'll see. But I'm going to go back and dehydrate these and call it a day, I think, and make some food.